Welcome here from Kikuf, Nisarga, and my dear friend Satyarthi is here. And this month we have a topic of embodiment related to our bodies, and I would like to have some conversation with Satyarthi, who is a body worker since 40 years, what it means, embodiment, and understanding of our body. And so I'm in this field for many years, and I noticed that spirituality sometimes can be disconnected from the body. People tend to think of spirituality as a way of meditation, and they somehow practicing methods to come out of the body and beyond these spiritual high realms, but often disconnected from the physical body. So what it is for you, Satyarthi, embodiment and spirituality in terms of body?
Well, I was lucky enough to always be somebody who really enjoyed my body. I was like, became a professional dancer when I was in my early 20s, very early 20s, and then became a professional body worker at 23, which is 46 years ago. And I've always enjoyed, I'm very kinesthetic. So what that means is that to be embodied, means coming back to our physical senses, to feel ourselves in the body, to sense our legs and our feet and our pelvis and our belly. All movement, walking, any movement should be sensual. But we've lost that. People have lost that. They move without feeling movement. All movement should be sensual. We are sensual beings. And when we are embodied, we're present. As much as we're embodied, we're present. So my spiritual master, Osho, all of his meditations basically started with the body, He had what he called active meditations, which you shake, you dance, you release emotion, you move the body, and then you sit silently. So as you were sharing about people that are on a spiritual path but somehow disassociate from their bodies, that's not all people, but there is a tendency sometimes that people on a spiritual path disassociate from the body. They don't embody themselves. Now, Osho's vision, which I learned, was that the new man, the whole man, was what he called Zorba the Buddha. Zorba meaning a man of the senses, fully alive in their senses, fully embodied, but at the same time in meditation, the Buddha. So that is the vision that I try to find for myself, and that if I talk about my own experience, basically it's a journey back to the body. I just did a 5-day ecstatic dance workshop where I danced for 5 hours a day. And it was very powerful in terms of how much it brought me back to the body. The pain of separation, we all live in it, The pain of separation, separate from ourselves, separate from life. We live in that pain. It's there for all of us. When we embody ourselves, when we come back to the world of our senses and live in a truly embodied state, we break that pain of separation. We feel connected again. We feel alive and full of the energy. We feel connected to ourselves and our essential qualities, and we feel connected to our environment and the people around us. When you're in your body, really in your body, you're not living in your mind. And the body is the ground that we should have as a place of foundation.
And you mentioned something beautiful also about Osho that started from all his teaching starting from the body, and I hear sometimes in his discourses that of course we are not the body, we are more than the body. There is spirit, there is mind, there is all these realms, but it all started, the anchor is the body, and that's the gate that connects us to this material realm that we live in, and if it's disconnected, somehow we lose part of that Trinity integration. And you also mentioned something about this connected, sensuous movement. So I'm curious, like, what does it really mean for you, the sensuous connected movement? Because some people might not really understand.
Well, movement, in its essence, when we're moving from a natural place, we're moving like a cat, for instance. You watch a cat move. A cat is moving, but you can sense and see that each movement is sensual in that cat. It's sensual. They're sensing their bodies. They're feeling the pleasure of movement. And we've lost that. We don't feel the pleasure of movement. We move mechanically. We go from A to B without sensing our body as we move from A to B. Yeah, we move our arms, we move our legs, we move our spine, but we don't sense the movement. Yeah, we've lost that embodied sensual state, that felt sense. And through coming back to that, what we do is we heal, for instance. We heal so much. We heal old wounds. I do it, I see it all the time in my work. As I'm working with people, I'm having them feel their sensations in their bodies, and I'm opening up the fascial system, which is the main system of sensation. So as it opens up, it wakes up, and I'm having people move and unwind, and they start to come back into a state of sensuality. Yeah, and the combination of movement, sensation, and breath with deep touch is a very powerful combination to bring people back to a place of embodiment.
Beautiful. I really like what you said also with the sensations and the felt sense, because I think that also part of coming back to the sensual movement is feeling the sensations in the body, which is part of coming back home and being present, because observing those sensations is a really powerful way to be here and now and see what's happening to my body, where my body is more connected, where I feel parts, where parts of my body that I'm disconnected from, and why there's this disconnection or frozen areas that I can bring awareness to.
So one more thing I just wanted to say around it. Where we pull back from sensing our bodies is that we don't want to feel pain. And physical pain, but emotional pain. So we have learned to defend against pain. And one of the main defenses against pain is to disassociate from sensation. And we've numbed our bodies out, yeah. And in that, we don't live a life of pleasure. We don't live a life of passion. We've lost our pleasure. We've lost our passion. And we stop trusting ourselves. Because unless we learn to live in our bodies, we cannot really trust. And if we can't trust, we can't love. Yeah, and if we can't love, we're stuck in the pain of separation. So coming back to the body is not just a journey of coming back into pleasurable sensation. It's a willingness to feel. And you have to feel the full range of feelings. The fear, the hurt, the joy, the bliss, yeah, all of it together. Yeah, you cannot say, oh, I just want to feel the bliss and the joy and the positive pleasure and disregard the pain. So there's just that willingness. And that is a life journey that I'm on. You know, it comes from the longing, man. If you long to come back to the world of the body, then that longing will carry you, yeah? And you'll be willing to feel all the range of feelings that come through the body, yeah?
Beautiful. And you are a teacher with huge experience of 4 years for myofascial energetic release before Osho rebalancing massage and body work. And so you have huge experience, and I see how much you help of hundreds of people each year, if not thousands, to embody through the body work, through the touch, through massage, body work. And so, but what I want to ask you, what would you recommend, except of massage, like for a daily practice to anybody to come back to the body? What would you recommend as a practice, as a meditation?
As a meditation, 3 things or 4. One thing is you can do like a mini meditation, yeah, where you do say 5 minutes of shaking, 5 minutes of myofascial unwinding, and 5 minutes of dancing, and 5 minutes of silence. It's a 20-minute meditation, you know. And that, if you do it on a regular basis, will bring you back into the life of the body. Yeah, you'll become a Zorba, which means one who lives fully in their senses, and a Buddha, because you're moving into the depths of meditation.
So, embody yourself, become a Buddha, Zorba, and practice those 4 steps that Satyarthi mentioned. Shaking, 5 minutes, myofascial unwinding, 5 minutes daily, where you move this gracefully like a cat movement. Dancing for 5 minutes, and silence meditation sitting. So those 4 steps are really powerful to embody, and starting from this temple. Thank you, Satyarthi, for this interview on embodiment. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.